On tonight's episode, to talk about Venom, The Last Dance.
And other pop culture news from the week.
We just watched the third and final installment of the Venom franchise, Sony's Spider-Verse Venom version, The Last Dance. So the theaters were not super excited about. Not full. There was some people,
It
but
wasn't bad.
yeah, but
We've
no,
definitely seen some much worse showings.
IMAX. I believe we saw worse, but we
Yeah.
also saw much better.
Sure.
Uh, so yeah, and it was interesting. It was. I mean, oh, you go ahead. You talk first because you have a different vision of Venom than I do.
I do. In that I don't really have a vision of Venom. I was never super into the character even when he was introduced in like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy. It was
Oh, that would barely count.
yeah, I'm saying that's the extent. So when I watch these movies, I'm just like along for the ride. I have no opinion of it as an adaptation. Just these movies on their own. And it is kind of fun, the relationship between Eddie and Venom and the extremely dark humor and all that stuff. It's entertaining. Um this one started out entertaining, but I felt like there was a major tone shift, that's maybe not the right word, but anyway, a big change in like the character of Venom himself, and a big, huge change, like to the point of kind of retconning the first movie of like who Venom is and his motivations and his like character alignment, like lawful good, chaotic neutral. Anyway, um, so some stuff that was fun to watch, but they also relied on some. There's just a lot of like weak at best writing. Um, I feel like the people who were there kind of enjoyed it. There were definitely some moments that I laughed. Um, but not the greatest film I've seen.
Yeah, no, it's even if it's funny, but it's like ha, it's like
Mm-hmm.
there are very few moments that I was like, oh, this is funny. Most of it is like, there's a scene in the beginning that, I can't. Oh, jeez, I can't
Oh,
remember.
tequila.
Yeah, and then Venom, tequila.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, this is a third installment on the Venom trilogy Venom universe by Sony by Aaron
Mm-hmm.
Pascal, with association with Marvel Comics, movies, Marvel Cinematic Universe, Marvel, Disney. The movie starts on a. It's kind of weird. It's a post credit scene on which one was that one? It was Spider Man. It feels like it was like 10 years ago. Spider
Yeah.
Man, No Way Home. Is that it called?
The last one. Yeah.
Yeah. Where Brock is in Mexico
Mm-hmm.
for just like the second movie ended,
Yeah.
and then he switched universes in the multiverse, and he makes the joke that it's almost like not a joke anymore. Like
Yeah.
I'm tired of the multiverse.
Me too, buddy. Me
Yeah,
too.
and so we follow Venom dealing with a threat from his past. We see
Mm-hmm.
New, the King in Black from the books in the beginning. Tough voice
Mm.
and seeking revenge. And then the movie, it's about some of his acolytes, creatures hunting Venom and all that. And meanwhile, there's like scientists in the military with all the symbiotes and
Mm-hmm.
the movie is plot heavy, but more poorly written, and it has problems not only on the fact that they don't adapt Venom, they abandoned that idea. Like on the first one, when Venom
Yeah.
started chit chatting, Jekyll and Hyde, chit chatting with
Mm-hmm.
each other, and funny. In some moments, it's like, especially on this one, on the first one, not so much. The motivations of Brock were love. He was in love with the girl. He wanted the girl back. A little
Mm-hmm.
bit that on the second one. Michelle Williams, smart woman. She didn't come back for this last one.
Yeah.
But on this one, he's sort of a loser, and there's this whole thing.
Mhm.
You're talking to Venom and stuff, and it's for me. It feels like Venom talking to Brock. It feels like Scooby Doo and Shaggy.
It was
It's
definitely like that affectionate. They were besties, they were bros. At one point Venom is like, "Oh, you would have been a good dad." Like it's really touch is I don't know.
cheesy.
Yeah, and like I don't know. Yeah,
And again, that's not Venom. And then we have some recasts. We have Rise Evans. I think that's how he pronounces his name. And we have
mm,
Chacha Ejiofor. Uh, they've both been in the Marvel Cinematic Universe before.
mhm.
One was, I can't remember the character, but he was in Doctor Strange, and the other one was in a Spider-Man movie. He was the Lizard on Andrew Garfield's
Mhm.
first Spider-Man movie. So we saw in the trailer, and it's like, oh, they're gonna connect somehow. No, it's just like
This
they
is a totally different guy.
can't hire other characters. I mean,
Yeah.
other actors. Yeah.
Yeah.
So besides the poor adaptation which they abandoned, so I kind of, especially after Carnage, and how they dealt with Carnage and how they ended Carnage, the second movie.
Mm.
Uh, so you go without hopes that they're gonna be Venom like in the books. And but besides that, which we try to, ignore that, because there's a problem. They're not gonna fix that. They do want to try to make this relationship between Venom and Brock, in a funny, dark way, like almost like
Mhm.
heroic way. And they want to basically make him like, if not Spider-Man per se, but like Deadpool, this fun, bad guy,
Yeah.
anti-hero. Anyways, but besides all that, the movie has structural problems that it feels like, even though it's long, it feels like an episode of a series or of a
Mm.
trilogy, the first one in the trilogy, because the way they introduce the bad guy in the beginning and the way the movie ends is like, really, guys? It's like, you you think you're gonna make another one? Because if you don't,
Yeah.
this was like, even try to hook, even try to like, aha,
Mhm.
we got you guys. You have to let us make another one. I don't know. They might not.
Yeah, mm, agreed. There's a weird number, not just like reusing actors who have been in other MCU roles, but also like a weird number of British actors playing American roles. Like the entire main cast and a couple tertiary, like secondary characters, all British actors. None of them playing British characters. I just think it's a little odd. They all did
Yeah,
fine.
but
They
that.
all did fine. I mean, obviously Tom Hardy is brilliant. Juno Temple's always charming. But I just it's a weird thing. Someone pointed out to me once. This is weird because there are plenty of American actors. Anyway,
But
there's
that's
that.
not
But I
new.
think like the
But that's
main
not new. This whole thing. It's Superman is
no,
British.
yeah, but it's
Thor
usually
is
like a
Australian.
couple. Like yeah, Superman is British, but then like everybody else around him, they're all
Wolverine is
American and
Australian.
Canadian. Yeah, but it's never like the whole cast.
I
With
mean,
this
but
one, it's the whole cast.
if the main
Like
ones
two
are
or three.
if the main ones are already, it's like, okay. It's secondary ones, like, yeah.
It happens a lot in Hollywood, but I haven't seen it quite to this extent before. And it's not like they were filming in the UK.
No, I
It's
think
just
they
a
film
weird thing that
everywhere but
happens.
the UK.
Yeah. There were a
Yeah.
lot of filming locations.
The black dude is British too?
Yep.
Okay.
No.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. The whole like the whole main cast. Anyway, just a lot of British people playing Americans. I don't know why that happened so much. I think this really suffered
But
from
it's
like
like,
the
if we think, who are leading man, right?
yeah, I get that it happens a lot, and there's like really good reasons, like the ones you mentioned, Henry Cavill and Hugh Jackman and Chris Hemsworth. They're phenomenal actors who maybe can't be swapped out. But again, like this is the whole cast.
Yeah, but I'm saying leading American man.
Hmm.
Maybe we don't have that, leading American man.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about roles
Also,
that are like leading men. Like
yeah,
Juno
yeah, yeah.
Temple's role, it could have been played by anybody.
Yeah, but
The
again,
general,
yeah,
anybody.
again, maybe that's the thing.
The dad in the van.
Maybe they either don't have it.
Mm,
Oh, that guy is not American too.
yeah,
Yeah, what?
he's not American.
Yeah, maybe it's a combination of we lack of those American leading men or woman too and woman too, plus the fact that people here might not want it because the mess here and just like no, I don't want to get involved with comic book movies. I want to serious movies.
I suppose.
And people out there that were raised by Hollywood movies, action movies. It's like, oh, I
Uh,
would love to be a superhero Hollywood movie, and then they take it a
I
combination of
guess
both,
so.
and
I don't know. Maybe they just have better agents.
or maybe
Because again, like I have a hard time believing there wasn't a single qualified person in Los Angeles who could have taken like Bryce Evans' role.
but again, maybe that's what I'm saying. Maybe it's a combination of the lack of people, uh, uh the lack of people, and the lack
Mm-hmm.
of people having interest in doing it. It's like, no,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
I'm
get
saying
involved in that.
I don't think
And also it could be the producer director. I was like
that.
let's go for let's not use Americans. Let's use British. I don't know
I don't
preference.
know. I just think it's weird because it's not like there's a and the reverse is weird too. I think it's weird when you get Americans to play British roles because it's not like there's a dearth of British actors. They've turned out some of the greatest actors of
But
our
acting,
time. I know, but like that movie we watched the other day with Lake Bell and Simon Pegg. Lake
yeah.
Bell is wonderful. I'm a big fan, but she's not English. It's like why
But
do we need the American actors
oh,
there?
and that I see all the
Because like the fake accents, they don't always go very well. Tom Hardy is a brilliant actor. He is not a brilliant American accent doer. He slips all the time.
but again,
Even trying to hide it behind a New York accent. It's not that big a deal. It just bugs me because
but
it's
with
not
Lake Bell,
it's just
I could see clearly why. If they had a British actress,
mm.
they would probably not get to the American market.
But is Lake Bell that big in the American market?
But she's bigger than a known British
I guess
actress,
so.
or
I
the
don't
same
know.
level of
But Americans
her.
love British movies.
At the same level of her, I don't know. Should bring people,
Uh,
someone from Britain.
but we couldn't find a single British girl
At the same
to do
level of
it.
her, I'm not sure if she would bring the same people because
Nah,
you know.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying. Casting aside, I think what really made this
I
movie
know. I'm
suffer.
against.
Can I please finish this thought? I've
I'm
started this thought
against.
so many
I'm
times.
against Britain too. Yeah.
I just think it's weird. I just think it's weird that we do this so often.
Yes.
Like, is there no one who can do the accent naturally? What? No? Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, but the
But just to finish that, I'm against Britain too. Yeah. No. SAG after stop hiring foreigners. Hire America. America first. Yeah. Now you move on.
okay. The biggest thing that made this film suffer was the fact that if you they basically come out of nowhere. We're like 3 movies into this franchise, right? And then out of nowhere completely rewrite and build this like the completely rewrite the symbiotes like um motivation, the reason they're there on Earth, their backstory, how they're able to bond with humans, everything that like drove the first movie, a little bit of the second movie, just like poof, rewrote it for, and it's just like a weird thing to do. Anyway, the point is, it was kind of funny, but like you could pass on this one and be fine.
Yeah.
That's all.
So yeah, Venom Last Dance available on theaters everywhere. If you don't want to wait for streaming, but it's it's all 3 movies is it's a letdown. They completely ignore the character. They make him a
Mm-hmm.
superhero, and Sony's been doing that with uh, you know so much crap. Madame Web was a disaster. Morbius was a disaster, and they have good source material with the. Uh, uh, Maybe they're gonna do another one, another villain, and of course they're gonna cast Jared Leto because he's American.
Yes.
Yeah, or Tom Hardy because everybody keeps recasting those for everything.
Mm.
He was on DC as the Joker, Jared Leto, and
Mhm.
on Marvel was Morbius. Hardy was Bane on DC,
Mhm.
and now he's. But hey, don't worry, they're gonna recast him. Probably gonna cast him as Blade. Nah, no, they would not. They will not do that because
Uh,
you know. Anyways, so Venom: The Last Dance is available in theaters everywhere. Yeah.
mhm. Okay, we also watched a movie that's available to stream called Brothers. This is starring Josh Brolin, Peter Dinklage, and Glenn Close.
Yeah, on paper it's like, whoa, this looks fun. But
Mhm.
it was like,
Oh.
boring. It's supposed to be a
Oh, and
comedy,
Brendan Fraser.
and Brendan Fraser,
Yeah.
and supposed it was probably the most funny in the movie. Uh,
Mm.
that seems to try to be a comedy, but it doesn't land the jokes. There's like the only I think the funniest moment is when the monkey sexual
Oh,
attack Josh Brolin's character,
and that was just like it was always like either too disturbing or too
and
sincere
later he does
or
that.
too contrived. It never quite landed in the sweet spot where it's like, okay, this is very funny or this is like a drama that I should take seriously. They just never yeah, never landed.
Yeah, and later they have the same joke with Brendan Fraser too. And Brendan Fraser is fun. His character is like screaming and running
Mhm.
and crazy and but yeah, it's about two brothers, twin brothers,
Mhm.
and one is a midget and one is a regular size. So like kind of a distant nod to twins. Is that twins? Is it called twins?
I don't know, the one with
Arnold
Schwarzenegger
Schwarzenegger
and
and
Danny
Danny DeVito.
DeVito.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think it's
that's
called
definitely what I
twins.
thought of first.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think everybody. I thought the same thing,
Yeah.
but it's like no, it's not funny as it should.
Mm.
If they want to go drama, they did very wrong. And
Mhm.
the guy behind is not. He did something. He did Palm Springs, right? Which
Yeah,
was funny.
it was. It was
It
clever
was
and compelling.
yeah. It was if anything. I was like, hey, the movie was fun.
Mhm.
This one was like it never delivers. It's a MGM Amazon movie,
Mhm.
straight to streaming. If anything, if they did anything right about it, was to release straight to streaming because yeah, it would have no chance. Even if the weak movies you have out there these days, it would have no
Yeah.
chance at the theaters. So they saved some bucks, made money on Amazon Prime, and of course on the stupid commercials that they insist and put it before the movie. Uh, but yeah, it's yeah, I don't know. Josh Brolin is Josh Brolin is a good actor, and
Mhm.
you
They
kind of
all are. Everybody
you kind of
involved.
feel, but with him, I kind of felt like he tried really hard. Uh, uh to be that character, to do that character, but the writing and everything else didn't help.
Mm.
So yeah,
Yeah. So you could probably pass on this one. It would be fine. Even streaming, I felt like it wasn't super worth it.
Brothers
Yeah.
available on Amazon Prime.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay. One last movie this week. Killer Heat.
Killer Heat is this neo noir murder mystery.
Mhm.
Takes place in Greece. Is with Greek people. Uh,
Except for our main characters who are conveniently all American and or
yeah,
British.
I mean the characters are all Greek. I mean, yeah, they are
No.
Greek. No, who's not Greek?
Joseph Gordon-Levitt,
No, he's Greek.
the wife. No.
He says
Well,
he's
he's like Greek American. So
oh
like
so
he's born and raised in the US, but he has Greek family.
okay.
So he's Greek. And then the woman who hires him is an
Sure,
American.
yeah. Shailene Woodley, she's that one
Mhm.
is she's not Greek.
Mm-mm.
She's British.
No, she's American.
She's American?
Yes.
Huh.
The
Oh, she went
mother,
to school in England.
she went to school in Oxford,
Oh,
and
okay.
that's where she
Yes.
married or met the twins, who are Greek, but also their mom is British. So anyway,
Yeah.
we're nitpicking
Anyways,
nationalities.
it's a Greek story. It's the Greek
Mm-hmm.
characters or descendants of Greeks, and it's it's the story of crime and passion and
Mm-hmm.
mystery and
Regret,
yeah,
pain, loss.
with a beautiful background of the Crete. I think it's Crete,
I think it was Crete,
the island
yeah.
of Crete. It was interesting. It was not like great. I solved the crime like in the first 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and
But it was still kind of a fun journey
yeah,
getting there, because they really did embrace the whole noir thing. Joseph Gordon-Levitt's narration, um, a lot of the themes and everything. It was, if you like noir and murder mysteries and enjoy some of those cliches and tropes, I thought this one was fun. And out of the three we watched this week, this is definitely the one worth watching,
yeah,
I think.
yeah. It's what else? Yeah, there's
Mm-hmm.
yeah. It's on Amazon if you want to check.
Mm-hmm.
It's yeah, not to be 3 for 3. This one is one that maybe if you like Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Shailene Woodley or forgot the name of the guy.
Not Sebastian Stan.
Yeah, I guess he's not Sebastian Stan.
But he's the
Uh,
he's the British guy who was on Game of Thrones, who looks exactly like Sebastian Stan, but isn't.
Madden, something Madden. I can't remember.
Richard Madden?
Sure,
Richard?
sure.
Anyway.
And he, yeah. So if you like that, you should check on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
It's yeah,
Huh.
yeah.
Okay. And because it's a murder mystery, I feel like we can't really
If anything,
say much more about it.
is I liked the fact that it's short. They don't try to
Mm.
extend and prolong. They
Mm-hmm.
keep it short and tight, tell the story, and get out of the way. But again, it's like the tropes are high and they scream so loud that's like, hey, wait a minute, that's what they did. Oh, and it is exactly what they did.
Yeah.
Anyways, Killing Heat,
Killer Heat.
Killer Heat,
Yeah.
available on Amazon Prime by
Mm-hmm.
MGM.
Okay. Looking at the box office, Smile 2 had a $23 million opening.
Yeah, which is sort of decent for a horror
Yeah.
movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beetlejuice has taken over Dune 2 as Warner Brothers' highest grossing movie of the year, at least domestically. Not sure what's going on in the rest of the world, but I guess Americans preferred Beetlejuice 2.
It does show. It does show. Yeah, some of the preferences because Beetlejuice is like a homegrown product of
Mm,
Americans grew up with that. And if anything,
sure.
I know a lot of people everywhere. They like it, but there's some very American things in the movie that
Mm,
not all foreigners will appreciate for cultural, social reasons. Not there's anything wrong. It's just like they were raised in different ways. Like American humor, a lot of times don't land
yeah.
overseas.
I mean,
So
that's true with any humor. Humor doesn't always export very well.
yeah, so all that considered, Beetlejuice had that strength behind it and help.
Mm-hmm.
And during two, we talked about that personally. For me, it was a big fail.
Mm-hmm.
So good for
Yeah,
Beetlejuice.
I did. And then Deadpool and Wolverine took over Barbie at the domestic box office, which also makes sense. I think it has a much, despite being rated R, I think it has a much broader appeal, a much bigger audience than
Yeah,
Barbie did.
and this is a movie's
No disrespect to Barbie.
decades in the making because
Yeah.
people wanted to see Wolverine,
Uh-huh.
always wanted, then they want more, and they wanted more before, and they wanted more
Yeah.
after. So yeah,
Yeah, and Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, like he was already coming in 2 for 2, with great movies, and then yeah,
And it is a great movie that you watch and we watch. So
yeah.
that's explain the
And
strange.
then you get to the end, and you're like, oh boy, what kind of funny, quirky, goofy mid-credit, post-credit scene are we get? And he's like, no, no, I'm gonna make you cry as we bid farewell to the Fox superheroes of our childhoods that started us on this whole superhero journey. Anyway, that was an emotional journey I was not prepared for. But the point is, Deadpool and Wolverine is a great movie.
Yeah. Just a quick one about Dune. The director of photography of Dune, which will be Dune Prophecy, will do Dune 2 will do Dune Prophecy, but I think they only gonna shoot starting 2026. Did I put that there?
Isn't Prophecy the TV series?
No.
Yes, it is.
So
Dune
it's not
Prophecy
Prophecy.
is
What's
the
it? Was Messiah, right?
yeah.
Yeah, the Messiah. He will start shooting that one in 2026 because before that he will do Batman 2, the Batman 2, whatever they call it,
Ooh.
because the same director photography.
Okay, cool. Right on. All right, Joker 2, Folie à Deux, that beloved, super popular, just kidding, superhero sequel or super villain, whatever. It's coming to streaming on Tuesday.
Yeah, it was a movie. Was a big fail
Yeah.
between acting, starring, and rape and everything that's on the movie. Everybody hated, and is already coming to streaming, really quickly. I guess they didn't try to recoup some of the money at least with the subscribers.
Yeah.
They're already paid, so
Let's
yeah.
quit while they're ahead. I mean, I didn't mind it. I feel like we had pretty positive overall.
I feel like people that hated this one, oh, what did they like about the first one? Because it was like basically the same. If anything, maybe that's why
Yes.
they hate it. It's like, okay, we've been through that. Do
Mm,
give us more, and they never did.
that's true, and it did definitely drag. Maybe because so
Yeah,
much of it was
and
repetitive.
singing, and Gaga, and changing Harley drastically, and yeah, there's so many wrong things. Let's not talk about it.
Okay, let's move on to Toho, the Japanese studio who brought us Godzilla. They've purchased GKids, which is an American anime distributor. So,
Oh, GKids is American.
I think so, or at least they distribute anime here in the US.
Oh,
So I don't know if it's an American company or if they just work for an American audience. Either way, Toho bought them. So that happened. And then Microsoft settled an antitrust lawsuit with gamers. There's an Activision Blizzard deal that I don't know. They settled it. They worked it out.
yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, this the big deal. Microsoft wanted to buy Activision. Buy Activision. It was sued for antitrust. It ended up settling. So
Yep.
big hit on the weirdo. I mean Bill Gates. I mean, people know the weirdo. Anyway.
Okay. What does Chick-fil-A play? Tell us about this.
Chick-fil-A is heading into a new uh, environment, into a new world, the world of streaming. They
Yes.
creating this streaming platform, Chick-fil-A Play, and they about to produce a lot of content for it.
Yes, including a number of animated shows, one perhaps entitled Chick-fil-A Cows, scripted podcasts, cooking shows, interactive stories, really all the things that you want from your favorite chicken restaurant.
And if anything, it's a very what's the word? I can't remember. Vulnerable, a very. I think it's very good that they creating competition because they're gonna come and bring new things and with the sole purpose of giving, providing, selling to the audiences. They're not gonna go to destroy Netflix or Hulu or
Yeah.
Max. So with their intention of providing for the public, like they do, providing great food, I think it's very very uh, uh, good thing because they can provide really cool things and it's options, you know, because
It's
the
true.
lack of option, the monopoly of things keeps giving us keep keeps giving us the same old thing, the same crap, rehashed, you know,
Mm,
and people get tired of it.
yeah. Well, we'll see. I remain skeptical. I do like the idea of new original content, especially coming from like outside of the mainstream and outside of Hollywood and all that stuff.
And
I just question like it streaming is it's so saturated. There's so many streaming services and I haven't heard anybody really take this seriously. Like it's just so unexpected and so out of the box to hear like, "Ah yes, this fast food restaurant is now going to create TV
what is
shows."
that? It's
Like,
about money.
I
It's
don't
not
know.
about is the money comes from selling chickens. It's
Mhm.
if they hire the right people. It's like
Yeah, it could work. It could work.
it's like Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai was like from this streaming
Yeah,
service that I don't know, maybe three people have called YouTube Red, I
I
think,
think
or
so.
maybe they changed the name.
Yeah.
YouTube Red, a streaming service for YouTube, produced by Sony. They got this show there. That very few people watched when was there, and then went to Netflix. It's like exploded. So
Mm,
approve evidence that the show was good. It didn't get the audiences it
sure.
needed once it got to a bigger platform. It got the audiences it needed, and it got
Mhm.
the third season, and fourth season. It comes the fifth,
Yeah.
and then renew energy for the movie. They're gonna make another movie. So with if they financially provide for good creators, they can create cool stuff. The service the service might fail because people say, "Oh, I'm not gonna watch something from the guy that makes chickens."
That
But
yeah, that's where I foresee the biggest challenge.
but
They could very well create some fun, genuinely original content,
yeah.
but I think it's going to be just kind of a tough sell.
Yeah, but
But I
we'll
could be
see.
wrong.
There's
I'd
so
love to
many
be wrong.
options if they go for a cheaper price, if they go for
Mhm.
like promotions and buy chicken and get a month for free or something like that.
Yeah.
Again, there's good ideas that they can bring the audiences, and if they have good content,
Mhm.
they'll stay.
Yeah. Well, we shall see. We shall see. I'm very curious about this. The Dolby Theater sold to Jeb's Hollywood Entertainment.
Yeah, Hollywood
Yeah.
Landmark was sold
Mhm.
just a little bit before the Oscars. They're coming soon next year.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah, but nothing more than that.
Okay. Donald Trump is going to be the guest on the Joe Rogan Experience
Yeah,
on October
tomorrow.
25th.
Yeah, tomorrow Friday. If you know Joe Rogan, it goes long
Mhm.
and it's it starts from the middle. They sit there, start talking and talking, and then Joe Rogan decides, oh, press record, and then it starts, and
Yeah.
it's a good time for sincere conversation and fun moments. Either way, is a recipe for a big hit. Joe Rogan is probably the biggest uh, podcast
He
in the world.
yeah, he's
Not
usually up
count,
there at the top of the charts.
not counting China because we don't have those numbers. And
Mm.
again, people there might be forced to listen. But on the free world, he's the biggest. And Donald Trump in this election times, people want to hear from him because they love him or because they hate him.
Yeah.
So
Either way, he's tough to look away
it's
from.
gonna get definitely gonna break the records and good for everybody. Good for people that wanna hear from him, and good for him that have a platform, and good for Rogan that gonna get like biggest big even bigger numbers than he has.
Yeah.
And he already makes probably the guy that makes more money in podcast alone.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
tomorrow, and at some point,
Mhm.
Joe
Yeah.
Rogan experience.
Whatever happens, whatever direction this goes, whichever version of Trump shows up that day, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, Hush 2.
So this past week we had New York Comic Con and several news from there. one of the news was the announcement of Hush 2. Jeff Loeb is
Mm-hmm.
back. Jim Lee. Yeah, so many Lees.
Yeah.
Jim Lee is back with this sequel story from Hush 1, the spectacular comic book that was destroyed in the animation. They changed the ending, they changed the plot. Whereas it
Yeah.
was like
As
it
usual,
was
the book
bad.
was better.
But coming for more.
Yeah.
The prologues, the what they call it? Not prologues, the preludes
Mm.
come in November and December. The series coming in January.
Okay. Also coming in 2025, Daredevil Born Again. This is going to launch on March 4th of next year on Disney Plus,
Okay.
obvi.
Official date also coming from New York Comic Con.
Mm.
Another one that is like sort of a shock, but not really. Blade was removed from Disney release slate.
What? Do
Yeah.
you mean to tell me after months and months and months of confusion and chaos on the set with casting and directors, they're not making the movie anymore?
Well, it took them 5 scripts
Yeah.
to decide that Blade would kill vampires. The actor almost left. They lost 2 directors, I think, and a couple writers.
Yeah.
So they took out of the slate. That might mean the movie is dead. To fulfill the prophecy from Wesley Snipes on Deadpool and Wolverine that said there's only one Blade.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, if they would invest in a Blade movie with Wesley Snipes, I'm pretty sure they would make more money. But they want to connect to the MCU and all that. Yeah.
I only recently saw Blade, but I can tell you the emotional reaction when Blade just like walked onto the
Oh, yeah.
set. I was like, "Yes, this. Let's just watch this movie." So yeah, the second to what my dear husband just said. If they
But
made that, that would have been a good movie.
yeah, instead to taking that slate,
Mm-hmm.
Disney gonna release Predator Badlands, which is sort of a secret movie. The movie is being produced, it's being
Mm-hmm.
made. You never heard from us. You probably never heard from
Mm.
anybody. It's starring blonde girl Elle Fanning.
Oh.
I guess they're gonna insist on for whatever and for many of the reasons they do these days. The protagonist is gonna be a woman, uh, dealing with a predator, just like the previous one. This one around the Badlands,
Mm-hmm.
known area of the desert Rockies in the United States. Uh, Western.
Yeah, doesn't this move into like the 19th century
So
somewhere? I feel like we heard that. Maybe not. I don't know.
but if anything, the movie is like sneaking from the shadows and boom, kick Blady in the butt and
Mm-hmm.
it's taking the slate.
Okay. Also coming in summer of 2025, the live action Lilo and Stitch was entirely unnecessary, and I just why even? Because Lilo and Stitch is such a perfect movie. But anyway, that's coming, and then Freakier
Oh, but don't
Friday,
worry, they will
the
make it better.
sequel. No, it's not.
They
It's
will change
no.
things to make it better, to make proper for modern audiences.
It's already perfect. There's some like okay, so the Avatar: The Last Airbender, the live action series on Netflix, really well done, really well executed, completely unnecessary. Like we watched the whole thing, and I was like, I gotta just watch the animated series again because it's a
Yeah.
perfect series. They nailed it the first time. You can't redo that.
Well,
And I mean, even if you can, then like why? Why? What did we just do?
oh, people need jobs. People need
Well,
money.
then make up a new one.
And rich
Expand
people
the
need more
universe.
money. The suits need to buy new
Ay,
suits.
God. Well, anyway, that's happening. But Freakier Friday looks promising. Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan reunite for a sequel. So
Yeah,
we'll
I
see.
mean, I was seeing. I'll believe when I see it. I mean, they are making it, but how are they gonna make that work?
Mm.
And I'll be like subpar. We'll see.
Oh. All right. More premiere dates, more fun stuff from New York Comic Con. Star Trek Section 31 is coming January of 2020. Nope, that January 24th
Yeah,
of next year.
yeah. It's sure. It's an interesting concept. It's like the spies, the
Yeah.
black ops of the Star Trek universe. lady, what's the bucket?
Michelle Yeoh.
Michelle Yeoh's coming back, which
Mm-hmm.
is already for me. It's a weird. I mean, it is kind of weird, but it's not at the same time that they're getting a character from the Mirror Universe. It reminds me of what they did with Age of Apocalypse in the X-Men comic books, where they have
Mm.
this whole alternative universe, but there's some characters that jump from there to the regular universe. So I guess there's precedent for in pop culture
Mm-hmm.
in narrative stories. Uh, uh, so the concept is interesting. The posters look hideous. It looks awful. It's almost like
Yeah,
they they have like character posters. Each character is like purple, yellow, green, and
that's
they're
right.
like it's almost like dancing. It's almost like a CW teenage show. So yeah,
It's already
and also there's the
guaranteed.
problem that it's a Paramount Plus show, and that there is like a lot of misses concerning the Star Trek. But we'll see.
But also, I mean, Strange New Worlds has been, I think,
Yeah, but even there you have
fantastic.
that like the musical episode, which
But I
is
mean, I feel like one episode isn't going to take down a whole show.
sure. But then you have Discovery, which is the whole show. Is
Yeah,
we couldn't go
we need to
back.
finish it.
Yeah, we can go back yet because anyways.
Yeah,
But
we do need to
uh
finish it. Anyway, I think what's going to be really interesting about this is a huge, and it makes sense. This is coming from Discovery because Discovery departed from like a lot of the core heart and soul of Star Trek in a lot of ways. But a big part of Starfleet and therefore Star Trek is like ethics and doing the right thing and figuring out what the right thing is and then doing that no matter what. But Section 31 is like not about that, right? They're black ops, they're
yeah,
spies, they do all the sketchy stuff. And so inherently, regardless of Discovery, Paramount Plus, whatever, this is already going to be very different Star Trek. So I don't know. We'll see in January of next year. And in the meantime, Lower Decks released a preview of their final season
yes.
at New York Comic Con. Did we learn anything from
Well, it's the guys and their shenanigans.
it? Okay. There's a new Creature Commandos trailer.
Also from New York Comic Con.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's like an old set of characters from DC Comics, and they're gonna kickstart again the James Gunn DC universe and animation. But he said that all the characters voiced on this animation will maybe show up in live action versions, and it will be those same characters trying to create this
Oh my god.
voice actor continuity. Anyways,
Hmm. Okay, well, in the meantime, Dune Prophecy. This is the HBO Max series, like prequel series, I guess, for Dune. Anyway, it's coming in November. They don't
yeah.
have a specific day, but it's coming soon.
Who also showed up at New York Comic Con was Megan. She showed up on the video talking to the audiences, uh, and we're gonna have a Megan 2.0 coming soon.
Interesting. All right. Um, Amazon's working on a God of War series, and they've got Ronald D. Moore as their showrunner.
Yeah, some scrambling happening on that show. They changed the showrunner. They brought a new one. The other one left.
Mm.
And this guy has some interesting resume. He was on the
Mm-hmm.
Next Generation, the Deep Space Nine, Star Trek Voyager, lately for All Mankind,
Mm-hmm.
and he did a lot, but a lot of Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, okay.
So
Interesting. That's a lot of
he's
science fiction. That's all
uh,
science fiction.
yes,
Hmm.
yeah, he seems to be a nerd, but like one of those like heavy metal cool nerds. If you look at him, he has like long hair,
Ooh.
long beard, like a biker nerd.
Okay.
But he has some stuff because among the things we mentioned, there's some good stuff there.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Okay.
But again, it's for
It's been very hit or miss over
they might
there.
consult Bezos, right? Bezos.
Mhm.
They might consult Bezos' kid, and because Rings of Power, Bezos did because his kid wanted it. So, anyways, moving on.
Okay, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown has not done well.
Yeah, and the crew was disbanded.
Yeah.
So again, game industry being affected by woke garbage ideologies, selling poorly, and then they blame the fans, and then the fans was like, "I didn't buy it because it sucked." It
Yeah.
is this cycle that they started,
Mm-hmm.
they're not gonna finish, and the employees end up getting some of the blame and the economic uh, consequences, right?
Yeah.
I told you to do this crap. Why you didn't do this crap? So I did this crap. It's like, but the game is failing because you did that crap. So, anyways,
Yeah. I mean, we've said it before. You can have, as long as you have like a good story, good gameplay, you can go as like diverse, crazy as you want to. But if you don't have a good story, if you don't have something worth coming from, it's gonna bomb. And it's not because people are racist, it's because people want good story. Anyways, Chris Hemsworth is in talk to play Prince Charming
yeah, why?
because he's very charming.
Yeah, isn't he brunette, black
No,
haired?
that's Liam.
Was no, I'm talking about the
Oh,
prince.
oh yeah. Well, and I'm not sure which prince it is.
Prince
If it,
Charming is the
yeah,
only
but is
one,
that
right?
Snow White's? Because they're never actually addressed as Prince Charming in the movies.
Well, when
So
you
in
go to
Snow White,
Disney,
she says anyone could see the prince was charming,
because
and
when you
in
go to Disney,
Cinderella's,
there's one Disney character that
yeah.
is Prince
So
Charming.
which one is it? Snow
I
White's or is it
don't know.
Cinderella's?
I mean, you should know. I wouldn't
Well, we
know.
didn't see him at Disneyland, so I don't know.
Even if we see him, we don't know
Yeah.
which one is which. I mean,
Well,
you would know.
I would know
You
from their
know.
outfit. Yeah, they have different outfits. They could be the same guy, but they have different
The
clothes.
Maleficent. What's his name?
That's Prince Philip. He has a name.
Sleeping Beauty.
That's Prince Philip
Okay, so I guess it's Snow White.
or Cinderella.
Which one is Cinderella?
He doesn't have a name.
Oh,
Neither one has a name. Snow White describes him as charming, but doesn't actually call him.
okay.
What I'm
Anyways,
saying. Anyway, we'll find out.
he will be a Prince Charming
Yes. Okay.
because everybody's like dying to see them.
John Wick is getting a prequel.
Animation.
Yeah.
And it's John Wick, so we're gonna see. There's nothing else to see because it's John Wick.
Yeah, and I think anime is that's good for them. Tom Holland is going to be the lead in a Christopher Nolan film with Matt Damon.
Yeah. Rose McIver directing episodes of Ghost, the series that she's been starring for a couple seasons.
Mhm. There's an adaptation of a PlayStation game called Until Dawn that's
Oh,
coming in April.
well, adaptation, so we'll see when it comes out.
Yes. Slow Horses is getting renewed for season 6. Apparently, it's going to get just real intense.
Yeah.
So,
Night Agent is renewed for season 3. Season 2 coming this winter.
mhm. You can read this one for obvious reasons.
Which one?
This one.
Sydney Sweeney and Amanda Seyfried.
Okay, they're gonna star in Paul the Housemaid adaptation.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
okay, Will Smith
English is not my first language, just saying. Uh,
those aren't English names.
which ones?
Seyfried or Feig, Fag, Fay,
No,
Fi, Fee.
Seyfried is not English.
No,
Where's she from?
I mean she's American, but the
Ah.
name
Okay.
isn't
Anyways,
English. Anyway, Will Smith is getting back together with Michael Bay, and they're making a Netflix action movie.
Fast and Loose.
Not to be confused with anything in the Fast and Furious franchise.
Oh, Footloose. Good
Yeah.
Omens to end. The next season to come will actually be shortened into one 90-minute episode because of the whole new Gaiman harassment controversy.
Hmm? There
At
is
least to getting a finale. So
yes, that was nice of them. There is a second live action Lord of the Rings film in development. They're not sure what the premise is going to be, but most of the ideas do include Gandalf.
that's good enough, especially if it's not Amazon's Gandalf.
That's really all we ask.
Yeah.
Okay. And Spirit Airlines is, I guess, trying out some different in-flight entertainment. Some passengers were surprised, shocked, dazzled perhaps, to find they were joined by a rat on their flight.
Yeah, but again, who wouldn't be surprised, shocked, and alarmed by a rat on the plane?
Yeah.
There's a whole movie about
Snakes on a
snakes on the
plane,
plane.
yeah.
Rats,
Perhaps a
a
sequel.
sequel. Yeah. Anyways, that's it for this week. We come back next week with more pop culture news entertainment. May the force be with you.
Live long and prosper.
Bye.
Bye.